Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our live. Today, we're going to be talking all about applying for 22 entry at NTU, whether that you've missed the deadline, whether you haven't applied to NTU, whether you haven't applied to universities at all. We're here today to answer any questions you might have that can help you with the next stage of your journey to coming to university in September. So we've got some great panels with us today to answer all your questions. So Rowan, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself first.
Hi everyone, my name is Rowan. So I'm the Post-16 Outreach and Recruitment Manager. So my team and I go around the country to sixth forms and colleges, giving students information, advice and guidance on things like why go to university, how it can help you with a career and that kind of thing. Student finance, so there might be questions on that later that we can help answer as well, personal statements, all that kind of thing. So giving students information, advice and guidance on why HE might be a good option for them.
Brill. Thank you, Rowan. And Simon, do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi everybody, my name's Simon. I'm the head of admissions here at NTU. So my team specifically are there to process applications that come into the university, and we deal with you from application stage right through to enrolment. So any questions about the admissions process, I'm the person here to answer them for you.
Brill. Thanks both of you. So my name's Katie. I work in the communications team here at NTU, and I am a class of 2019 graduate. So I've applied to university myself. I've applied to NTU, so can answer any questions if you might have any about that. So yeah, if you do have any questions today, please put them in the comments and we will be able to answer them. If we don't get around to them today, we will be able to show you where you can go for more information. And we have some questions that have been pre-decided for us from people that have sent in. So if you have any more, then do let us know. If it's about your application, whether it's about something you're unsure about university, we've got the panel here to help you today. So without further ado, we'll move on to the first question. Brill. So how do I apply if I haven't already applied this year to a university? So who wouldn't mind having a go at this answer first?
Yeah, I can pick that one up.
Brill.
Okay, so great question. So if you haven't applied yet already, there's still plenty of time to do so, and there are a couple of good options open to you. So to apply to university, you do need to apply through UCAS. UCAS do have some specific application deadlines. First one being June the 30th. So that deadline is there. So if you've not made your application yet and you want to apply through what's deemed as the main cycle, you'd need to get your application submitted by that 30th of deadline. Now, I appreciate we're on the 22nd of June today, so it's quite a tight turnaround to kind of get that kind of application in by that date. So if by any chance you don't get your application in by the 30th of June deadline, there is also the option of clearing, which opens up on July the 5th. And that will just give you a little bit more time to kind of think about what options that you have got about kind of attending kind of university this year. So the key thing is don't panic. You've got plenty of options open to you up until the 30th of July. And then when clearing opens on the 5th of July, if you've already got all of your qualifications gained, you can do that.
Brill. Thanks, Simon. Fantastic answer there. And Rowan, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that, or has Simon given a very strong answer?
I think he's given a very strong answer, I would say, yeah.
Brill. Amazing. So thanks for that, both of you. So we'll move on to the next question. So I've not been accepted into any universities. How do I apply? So slightly different to that one. So this person has done an application but hasn't been accepted. How does that slightly differ between the circumstance before?
Okay, I can pick that one up as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, no problem. Again, another great question. So if you are in circumstance in the minute where you have kind of made all your applications and you've not been successful in obtaining an offer at this point, again, there are still options open to you. So essentially, the first one is around UCAS Extra. UCAS Extra will allow you to still put an application into kind of each university which is still advertising vacancies, and then that can be considered, and hopefully you can secure a place through the UCAS Extra scheme. The main difference between UCAS Extra and kind of almost the main cycle is UCAS Extra is kind of one application at a time. You'll submit it to your kind of chosen university to see if the spaces on that course, and then you get to make your one firm choice if you get made an offer for that particular university. That's kind of through the UCAS Extra route. We would recommend, again, because of the 30th of June deadline, it's worth kind of doing your homework and having a look around to see which universities have still got spaces open and available, and to make sure if you are meeting the entry criteria for those courses that you are then submitting kind of your application. So it's good to look on the university websites, look at the course entry profiles, and even contact the university as well in advance of putting your application in if you just want to be sure. Again, it's just because of the short deadline that we've got up to the 30th of June. After that, the same applies. If you have achieved all of your results, at that point you've got all your results in, you can then apply through clearing from the 5th of July. If you're in the situation where you're doing A-levels and results don't come out till kind of August the 18th, and you've not been able to secure a place via UCAS Extra, then you would need to wait for clearing, go down the clearing route, and you'll be able to make your application through clearing from around the 18th, on the 18th of August, via clearing for a university.
Amazing. Thanks very much for that, Simon. Rowan, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we move on to the next?
Not really, just the main point, really, don't panic. You've still got time. Clearing is a great option. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great thing to do. So use your time wisely, research courses and check it's the right thing for you as an individual. Don't just jump at things. Yeah, everything else Simon covered. Yeah.
Well, amazing. Thanks, both of you. Like I say, there's plenty of options. If you are interested in finding out a bit more information, you can do it and ask us a question in the comments below. And if we don't get around to them, we can go to ntu.ac.uk/askNTU. So you can also submit a question on there if we don't get around to it today. So amazing. We'll move on to the next question, please. So what is the deadline for late application? So I know it's been mentioned a little bit there, but just to confirm, Simon, can I go to you for that one just to
of course.
What's the deadline?
Yes, no problem. So the deadline for kind of late applications is June the 30th. That's the deadline date to get your applications in. But again, as we've said previously, and Rowan said as well, do not panic about the fact that those deadlines are there. If you're not able to get an application in by that deadline or receive a decision by that deadline, then there is the option of kind of going into clearing as well once clearing opens. Don't panic is the key thing.
Don't panic. That should have just been what the title of this live should be. Don't panic. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's all okay. There's options. Amazing. So we'll move on to the next question, please. So do I have to submit a personal statement? So, Rowan, if I can go to you with that one,
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah, fine. Yeah. So as Simon's kind of covered, if you are applying by the 30th of June, then yes, you do need to do a personal statement because that's the normal application cycle. So we've done a live Q&A on that before. One of our colleagues, Kirsty, did that. So that'll be on YouTube, so you can play that back. Lots of information about what you need to do, 4,000 characters, what to include, a lot about the course, a bit about you as a person. That's a whole other session. So if people are thinking they want to get their application in by the 30th of June, then yes, you do need to have a personal statement. So check out that past Q&A we did with that because it's really beneficial. After the 30th, you fall into the clearing cycle and you don't need to do a personal statement. So that's kind of where we are at the minute due to the timeline. But again, don't panic, as we've just said.
Brilliant. Thank you. Sam, did you want anything else you wanted to mention about personal statements? And any other tips or anywhere they can go, anything like that?
No, I mean, if we can link into the chat, what we've done previously on kind of workshops around the personal statements, then that's probably the key thing.
Brilliant.
I think with the whole clearing side, when you are making an application through clearing, you are obviously still going through UCAS and you're still submitting kind of that application. There might be instances when you are applying that the university want to still know a bit more information about you and how good you are going to be for those particular courses. So they might be looking at what information you can give them as kind of part of that kind of clearing process. And if you've just applied through clearing, what information is on that kind of UCAS application form. But ultimately, as kind of Rowan has said, it's really going up to that deadline. Still get your personal statement on your UCAS application. But again, do I say the word don't panic again? But that's ultimately you've still got time.
No, you could. We are allowed to reinforce the don't panic, don't worry about repeating it. It's definitely the theme for today's live. But that's good. That's a nice message. It's not like we're saying panic. That would be not a very nice thing to repeat. So yeah, don't panic, guys. Don't worry. So we'll move on to the next question, please. So if I submit an application for a course, when will I hear back about an offer? So Simon, can I go to you with that one? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. So if you have made your application by that June the 30th deadline, then you can expect to get a decision back on your application by July the 14th at the latest. Once you've had decisions back from all of your university choices, so if you're still going through the main cycle where you've applied for 5 universities and you're waiting for decisions back from all of them, once you've had them back, then you've got a very short time window then to kind of make your firm and insurance choice, which will be the kind of the 21st of July deadline. If you've applied for UCAS Extra, you're only waiting for one decision to come back. But again, the 21st of July is that deadline to kind of almost make your kind of firm or insurance choice when applying for a course.
Fab. Thanks for all that. Dates are very key dates in there. Rowan, did you have anything that you wanted to mention about that, or?
Not massively. Again, just people, I'm sure people have researched these courses anyway, but again, if you get an offer, just make sure it's the right course for you and you think you'll enjoy your time there and belong there and thrive there. Those kind of things are really important to consider as well. But hopefully people have done their research before choosing the course anyway. So that's hopefully all done.
Yeah, exactly. You see, spending time obviously looking at the courses, looking at the modules if they suit you, the assessment type, spending a lot of time on what you can see online will help you decide which ones to accept if you're doing a late application. So brilliant, thanks for that. So we'll move on to the next question, please. So what courses are open for applications? So who wants to have a go at answering this one first?
Yeah, I can pick that one up, that's no problem. Yeah. So across our course profile at the minute, the only courses that we're not taking applications for, a late application for at this stage, are vet nursing, social work and paramedic science. They're the 3 courses not accepting applications at the minute. All of the courses are still open for applications as we go into the 30th of June deadline. And then after that point, when we go into clearing, all of the courses that will be open in clearing will be displayed on our website and also on kind of UCAS as well, the UCAS website, all of the clearing courses at that point.
Brill, thanks very much for that.
But plenty of choice still out there for you.
Plenty of choice. I mean, I don't even fully know the final figure of how many courses we have, but that is like a drop in a pool of how many courses aren't available for application. So fab. I don't think there'll be any other courses that you know about, Ryan, that aren't that you can add more to that one. No,
I've not closed anything in the last 10 minutes. So
that's brilliant. I just wanted to double check before we moved on. So we'll move on to the next question, please. Thanks very much for that one, guys. So when should I apply for student finance? So it's a big part of your student experience. It's a really key that you can get that finance secured. You can know what you're going to be able to be entitled to, because that then deciphers which accommodate, all the other parts that go into it just really can rely on this information that you get. So Rowan, if I can go to you first with that one, would that be okay? Brilliant, thank you.
That's fine, yeah. So the main student deadline, the main finance deadline is the end of May. So obviously most people that applied for UCAS by January then get their finance applications in. However, you can still apply, and the main advice here is getting this in as soon as possible. So even if you're still exploring options for the June 30th deadline, or even if you're considering clearing and you might not be 100% sure where you're going to go yet, we advise get your application in now, get it in today, tomorrow, you're in the system. Then what happens is later down the line, you'll be picked up. So for example, on results day, if you didn't get your firm choice or your insurance, or you end up in clearing and you go somewhere totally different where you might not be considering at the moment, you'll then be picked up and married up to the institution you end up going to. And likewise, the fees and all the funding doesn't start to transfer until you go to that university and enroll. So when you go to that university and come to NTU hopefully, and you enroll in September, the money will be sent over and all done then. But the sooner you do this, the better. If you leave it, you are still entitled to it, but you might get it late. So the last thing we want is people coming to NTU mid-September, for example, for Welcome Week, and they don't get their money for a month or whatever it might be. So biggest advice, just get your application in ASAP, put down the course that you're most likely to go for. Whether you get on it or not, you'll be married up to the one that you do go with later down the line.
definitely. Just get it in as soon as possible. Don't panic, but get it in quickly. Don't panic, get it in, but do it quickly.
Yeah.
Brill. Thanks for that, Rowan. So we'll move on to the next question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So again, another financial kind of topic question. So what financial support is there from NTU? So Rowan, if I can go back to you with this one again, that would be fantastic. If you want to give it a go answering.
So NTU offers a bursary. So for students that come from a household where the income's under £25,000, they'll get a £750 bursary, and you can apply for this each year. So that's what NTU does as our general bursary for all. So anyone 25k or under, that's there for them to take advantage of. Also for estranged students and care leavers, we have packages for them as well. So that's about £1,000 paid in two £500 payments, I think it is. So again, there's money there for students that might be estranged or a care leaver. And also we have other things like scholarships. So for example, students that are applying to us that excel in certain sports will be entitled to certain things depending on the level they're at. So it could be nutritionists, free gym passes, kit, might be able to even reduce fees. It depends on the level of your sporting ability. And the same with music. So we do music scholarships, which include equipment and other things like tutoring and lessons and all that kind of stuff. So they're the main financial supports that NTU offer outside of the student finance setting. The other thing, which is a lot of students do, again, it's not financial support, but it's that you can work for the university, you can be a student ambassador. There's loads of opportunities when you are at university to earn money to help with your funding and your your spending and all your student costs, living, accommodation, going out, socialising, whatever it is you choose to do. So a lot of students do work as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Like you said, there's so many different options to explore, whether it's about gaining more financial support or whether it's about what we can offer you in terms of even like managing your money and things like that. We have a great financial support system there as well, which is fantastic. Simon, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to that? And I'm just going to fling my arm around. I think the sensor's going to go off and I don't want to sit in the dark. So do you have anything that you wanted to add about that in terms of financial support?
No, I think Rowan's literally has covered everything off for it, to be honest. Yeah, good answer, Rowan.
Fantastic. You both just like smashing the answers out the park. The other person's just like, I have nothing to add. That was great. So we've got a good panel here. We've got the experts. So Fab, do you still have accommodation available? So Rowan, if I'm okay to go to you for this answer and give a little insight as to what accommodation do we still have available?
Yeah, so we do. I'm not going to go through every single campus and the ones we have available, but if you go online, and we can put the link in the chat for this, they're all on there. So it's very simple. You can click on, you can see by campus what we've got available, and then you can go in from there once you've got an offer and reserve your room and where you'd like to stay. So yeah, there is.
Yeah. Short answer, definitely yes. It's ntu.ac.uk/accommodation. If you want to head to that, type that in your search bar and head there. And you can also speak to our accommodation through there as well if you want to find out a bit more information about the accommodation that's available and the different settings and stuff like that. So brilliant. So we'll move on to the next question, please. If I miss the 30th of June deadline, what are my options? So Simon, if I'm okay to come to you with this, I know you touched a little bit about clearing earlier. If you want to mention a little bit more about what can happen after that date, if they're still interested in coming to university.
Yeah, of course. Great question. So as we've said, the key thing is don't panic. If you've missed that 30th of June deadline, there are options available to you. The main thing being clearing. Clearing is for those students who have got all their exam results come through, so they know what results they've got. They can then apply to the various different universities through clearing to try and secure a place. You can't apply through clearing if you've still got results pending. You have to have achieved all of your results in order to pick up the phone to make your kind of clearing application to the various different universities. So there's still plenty of choice out there, and I think that's the key thing as we're going to clearing. So again, without repeating myself, don't panic about that 30th of June deadline. Really think about doing your research, because if you are one of the students that is doing A-levels, you're not going to get your results till the 18th of August. it's good to really do your kind of homework and really think about which universities you're still kind of keen to go to, and what the entry requirements are for those particular courses, to then know what on that clearing Thursday, if you've not got a place confirmed, you can already start ringing around those various different institutions. If you have got all of your results through, then from the 5th of July, you can start applying to different institutions for a clearing place. For NTU, we do offer an NTU have a clearing priority service, which you can sign up for, which will give you lots of information about clearing at NTU and some of the services we can offer you as a priority service. So which we'll put the link onto this chat for you all.
Yep.
So that is the key thing really. Is just clearing is an option that's out there, and you'll still have plenty of choice. So just don't panic. It just might mean that actually from the 30th of June you can have to wait a bit longer until you've actually got your results before you can actually then start making your application again. But if you've got them now, like I say, start making those clearing applications. Check out the websites, check out UCAS as well to see the vacancies that are available. As I touched on earlier, we have 3 courses, not accepting any further applications at this stage. Our wide portfolio of courses, you will have the opportunity to apply for them through clearing.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, if you haven't started your application journey at all, and if all you've ever done is kind of think about it a while ago, the 30th of June deadline really isn't that far away to really research your options and things like that. So clearing is a great option to give you that little bit more time to do your research, think about where you might see yourself. Hopefully, if it's NTU, you can think about where you might want to live, think about even a bit more courses and things like that. So it just gives you that extra time to really think about it. So thank you for that, Simon. Rowan, did you have anything that you wanted to mention about that? Maybe if you know somebody that's been through it, or when you've been speaking to schools, any advice that you'd give them at this point?
The one thing I will add, just to echo off what you just said, Katie, was open days. So, for example, if you're looking at, I'm thinking that I might go into clearing, actually university is an option. I'm a late applicant. I haven't applied. I'm not going to apply by the 30th. So, for example, if you're looking at NTU's courses, we've got 2 open days coming up. So Friday the 1st of July and Saturday the 2nd. So you can come down, have a look around, come to the subject talks, all that kind of thing, see what NTU is all about if you haven't been to us yet. So that'd be a great thing to do that might help with your researching process and looking at courses. So that's the first thing I'd say. The other thing with clearing, again, saying it again, not to panic. A lot of people think there's a bit of a stigma around clearing, that it's only there for students that don't get grades and stuff, and that's not the case at all. It's for people that apply late, or people that change their minds, which a lot of people do. So it's not a bad thing at all. If anything, it's a really good thing to consider. Like Simon said, basically all of our courses are open bar 3. So it's a great opportunity to get a place at a university.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to find out more information about clearing and the priority service that Simon mentioned, it is ntu.ac.uk/clearing. It might have been popped in the chat, and we do have a banner that might come across the screen, magic powers, but it might not. We do have, it's NTU. Hey, there it is. I feel like I'm on the news. So ntu.ac.uk/clearing, loads of information on there. The priority service is a great option. If you think you're going to be applying at this stage, it's great to be able to, get yourself in the mindset, get everything that you need to be prepared for it. And that's a great avenue and information source for you. So thank you very much for that fantastic answer, guys. I'm sure that helps somebody there massively.
I'll just add to it if I can, Katie, just from what Rowan said about the open days. So if you are considering coming along to one of our open days on the, the 1st, 2nd July, my team will be there working on those days. So if you've got any clearing specific or application specific questions, then my team will be there to answer those questions for you about those events across all of our campuses.
Brilliant. Yeah, and I'll be there as well, but I'll be doing social media. So if you if you see me running around and trying to take pictures of everything, then no, you didn't. That's not me. It's a different person. So we'll move on to the next question, please. So what happens on results day? The clearing Thursday, as Simon mentioned earlier. Well, actually, it was clearing Tuesday last year, wasn't it? So clearing day this year, results day. Sam, if you wouldn't mind giving a little bit of insight of what might happen on results day and what someone can expect and how they might interact with the university, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, results day. So typically the main results day is the kind of 18th of August, when the A-level results, some BTEC results are released out to kind of students. Now we hope that you're going to be in that situation on that 18th of August, when you wake up in the morning, that you'll get a text or an email from your firm choice university to say congratulations, you've got your place confirmed at that university. So that's what we're kind of hoping for those that have got your you've made your firm choice to enter you. That's certainly what we'll be looking to do on that 18th of August. You kind of almost check your phone, check your email to see if anything's come through to have confirmed your place. If for any reason on that day your places you can't see your place has been confirmed, straight away UCAS track will open at 8:15 on Thursday the 18th of August. So you can then go onto UCAS track and actually see if you've been successful at your kind of your firm and in insurance choice. If they're showing us no decision has been made yet on those applications, then we'd recommend that you contact the university in question to kind of find out what the university is waiting for in terms of making a decision for you. So in an ideal scenario, you'll be accepted on your firm choice. It may be that if you don't quite meet the entry requirements for the first choice that you've applied for, that we may make you an alternative offer for another course that's quite closely linked to the original course that you've applied for. And then by us making that alternative offer to you, you can then kind of look at that and kind of decide whether you want to accept that kind of alternative offer or not. If you don't want to accept that alternative offer, you can obviously decline it, and then you can put yourself into for a different course within NTU, or you essentially can go into clearing at that point. So if on the 18th of August you wake up and you have found out that you haven't got a place secured anywhere else, or you're one of the applicants we talked about earlier that didn't meet the 30th of June deadline with your application and clearing is your first route of making the application, then what we would say is get on the phone, start ringing around the universities to kind of see what spaces are available through clearing at the various different institutions. It's like on the first day, we can't stress enough the importance of doing preparation. Like Rowan mentioned it earlier, it's about, again, doing your research to think about if you are in that situation on clearing results day where you haven't got that first choice where you wanted to go to, really do your research to think about what the alternatives are for you and the career that you kind of want to undertake. And then, like I say, you'll be on the phone ringing around trying to secure yourself some offers from universities. And it might be that you collect 5, 6, 10, 12 different offers from various different institutions. And then you can then decide what you want to accept in terms of your clearing offer that's been made to you. There is an option as well, which will get covered more at a future one of these sessions, around where you can also be registered for Clearing Plus, which is it's a service operated by UCAS, which you can sign up for, where it would kind of almost say to you, here's a list of courses based on your qualifications that you've got. We can see you in clearing. These institutions might suit you. And you can almost go through and say you're interested in X amount of courses. Then institutions will have the ability to contact you to try and tell you what's available to them as well. Definitely sign up for the NTU Clearing Priority Service. I would definitely recommend that, because again, lots of helpful hints and advice will come that way, and some priority benefits of that as well, which you can get by going via the link that went across the screen. But again, as Rowan said, clearing is not a dirty word. Clearing is a really good, valuable route into higher education. So don't panic. The option is still there for you. Kind of results day. It's not don't think the end of the world is there. There will still be lots and lots of options available to you. Preferably, we have had people in the past being in different countries. Make sure you're somewhere has got a good phone signal, so you can make those phone calls to institutions. And with ourselves, you can also make applications online as well on that day. Rowan, anything you want to add on to that?
To be honest, I was just going to add the last thing you mentioned, really. I think you've covered it all. I was going to say, ideally, we say to people when we're out in sixth forms and colleges to make sure you're here in the country. You can't have a list of unis and courses and you go off to Ibiza for a week and let mum, dad or carer ring. We have to speak to the student themselves. So ideally, make sure you're here. If things don't quite go to plan and you're looking at different courses and looking around, it's just a lot easier if you're here to do that on the 18th. So yeah, that's my main bit of advice, really. So I didn't really. Simon covered the rest, to be fair.
Definitely. I think the thing is, if you have a feeling you might be using clearing, if you're not going into clearing, if you're thinking about it now and you're not going to do the late application before the 30th, definitely just get yourself as ready as you can be for clearing. Sign up to our services, research what you might be looking for. And it, as Rowan says, you need to have certain things ready to go on clearing day, which you can find out more on the banner going across your screen. You can find out more information on there. Just make sure you're as prepared as it possibly can be so that you're ready to go, we're ready to go, and we can do it as soon as possible on that day. So thank you so much for submitting your questions, everybody. I know that there's been some in the comments that we have responded to. But if we didn't get round to any, or you still have a question that you haven't asked that you might think about, you can go to ntu.ac.uk/askNTU. And if you submit a question on there, it will come through to our team. We'll be able to answer it. Alternatively, you can send us a direct message on social media. And again, we will also be able to respond to you. So thank you very much for joining us on this live today. I know we've had some great questions in, so sorry if we didn't get round to them. Thank you very much to the panel. You've given some great, insightful questions. You've both just been able to answer them one each because there's just been so much information covered. So thank you very much for that. As Simon touched on earlier, we will be doing some lives over the next few weeks all about clearing. Again, the information is on our webpage, and keep having a look on our YouTube because we've got loads of lives that we've done. And again, we will be doing some moving forward as well. So yeah, good luck with any late applications that you're doing. If you're looking to clear, good luck with that as well. And we will speak to you next time. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thanks all.